How's everyone? I'm gonna wait for some people to join. Wish I had better lighting in here. Hope you guys are able to see fine. There we go. Now I'm able to see better. So, okay. Let me share my information here. Let me plug in my laptop. Hi, Mark. Markrella, how's it going? Good to see you, man. How's everything going? You know what? I'm gonna plug in my laptop real quick. It's not. Oh, here we go. There we go. How's it going? So I worked on this painting today. I'm gonna try it on a different substrate. This is more so the preliminary painting, little test run, but I have a really good idea for this commission I'm working on right now. Really helps to meditate sometimes, just close your eyes and take your time to envision what you're gonna paint. Don't always have to dive right into it, feeling all the pressure. It's best to do a little ideation work, which is very systematic and requires some level of taking the time to process it and um, figure out what composition you're gonna use. So that was fun. I'm doing well right now. Some active time on a bike. Nice. I love biking, man. It's been so long since I've ridden a bike. Nice. I wonder how Shanda would be if I tried riding a bike with him. Like in a little whatchamacallits. He'd be in this little capsule on wheels. Hey, how's everyone doing? Howdy Lemon. Hi. Hi the real song. Hi Peaceful Elephant. Thank you for the star. Hi Lake Tikak Titicaca. Hi Romel. Hi Peace. Thank you need a big capsule for him. I know a big one. It would have to be big, and dude. The dog weighs as much as I do, so I don't know how that's gonna pan out. Maybe it'll be perfectly balanced. I think it might be fine. I don't know. Man. Like, how much would that even cost to get one of those? Have to get the bike too, though. I don't have a bike. Used to. You look like Murph. Wait, I don't know who that is. Are you referring to, like, do you mean Murphy, like the last name? Are you saying I look Irish or I don't know. Yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anything good on the menu today? Hi. Yeah. I just had my cream of wheat this morning, and then I had a smoothie, really healthy smoothie. And for dinner, I'm gonna have some beans and rice. We have some beans which we soaked the other night, and they're all nice and cooked for dinner. I think they're I forget what kind of beans they are exactly, but they're good. And it's got the poblano pepper and ham and all this other good stuff. I love beans, man. I love beans. Oh, okay. Okay, my computer's being all weird now. Look around, people, gardens, dogs, birds, love the sun and stars. What else I need? I feel you, man. That's what's up. That is what's up. Yeah, life has been really up and down lately over here. And I know people are probably going to want for me to elaborate on that. And Yeah, I think a big ass pimple right there. Ugh. Um, but so yeah, it's personal family stuff. We had a family crisis. I'll leave it at that. But she seems to be doing okay now. Uh, things seem to be pretty copacetic at the moment. It ain't bad. No, it ain't bad. But I'm looking for a job. I just applied this morning. Thank God I got so much done because when I'm depressed, like I have been, like when I saw like my mom being taken to the hospital, I got so depressed that I could not get myself out of bed until like afternoon. And I don't know why, but I gravitate towards watching true crime content when I'm depressed for some reason. I don't know why that is cuz you'd think that would just make it worse. Uh I mean, regardless, I still like to watch that content. I'm just out of curiosity. It's a morbid curiosity, I guess. Like why do people do the things they do and how could this person escape or, um but it was like that. And but yeah, that's why I was glad that my friend invited me over to help her out because I thought that was really good for me. um yeah, there's been just a lot of emotional baggage left and right, man. It's like no matter where I go, um there's always someone really suffering. And um I'm a pretty good listener, but how much emotional baggage can you take from all different sides, you know? Like everybody's really struggling these days. But I'm also, yeah, been looking for a job. I applied for like 6 or 7 this morning on the Indeed app. All doggy daycare positions, doggy daycare, receptionist, sort of stuff. Let me share some of the information here. Poor Artie. What? What the fuck? Okay, yeah, decline. Decline. I don't want to pay for that. Go back. Decline. Go back. Decline. Go back. Okay. No, I'm not. Fuck. What the hell? Huh. Mm, it's only $2 a month, I guess. But what the hell? Can't I just go back and huh, basic? This is weird. It's weird that it won't let me. Huh. Control Alt Delete. Control. There we go. Task manager. Oh, Artie. So yeah, just been, like I honestly the cravings haven't been that bad either. I had one day where I felt like I was, you know, craving. It wasn't like I was entertaining the idea. It wasn't like I was pondering whether I was gonna do it or not. But like it for a moment, for not very long, I was thinking, gosh, you know what? I don't want to feel anything right now. It was, yeah, just kind of it was a miserable week. Okay, we'll continue. Continue with that. For goodness sakes. Hmm, I really have to. Okay, I guess so. One second. See what I got here. How's everyone? Hi, how are you? Hi. Hi, G Gthasis. How are you doing? My sleep paralysis demon says hello. Back at you, man. I've never had sleep paralysis. That doesn't sound fun. Just looking for my wallet here. Can't. The hell? Hi, Lewis. How's it going? Am I from the Resident Evil game? I've had people tell me I look like that character. Yeah, it's worse when it's people you used to know. Wait a minute. Hey, Royal Cowboys, how's it going? Where am I from? I'm from the USA. Hey, how's it going? Hi, Zaza. Hi, Javez. Proud of you one day at a time. Thank you, BSF. Yes, that's the way it goes, you know? One day at a time. One day at a time, and I will not let it get to me. I will not let it defeat me. I'm not, I mean, it wouldn't make me weak if I relapsed, but it'll make me stronger if I can persevere. If I can persevere regardless, mind over matter, really. Mind over fucking matter. And also having enough foresight to understand what that's all going to entail in the end, what's going to happen, what's likely to happen, prisons, institutions, or death, um and knowing that if I don't do that stuff, then there are good things in store in my life. If I think positively and go in the right direction, continue in the right direction, then it might not be so bad. You know, I'm applying for jobs and doing this and working on painting and helping my friend out and all that. Those are all good things, and it should be every little thing that I do will eventually add up one little thing at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. Just keep on doing little things. And we could do big things, but it's e- a lot of us have hold high expectations for ourselves and we expect ourselves to complete some large task in a certain amount of time or we expect to have it all or nothing. That's never helpful. Just it makes me want to just give up sometimes. It's like if I don't succeed in something that's where I have all these expectations for myself, that's like I'm just never going to succeed at anything. It's all or nothing, and I don't want to have that mentality. I used to really have that mentality, and without even realizing it. And if I just slow, it doesn't have to be like snail's pace, but I should make it a goal. I should set goals and make it a goal every single day to complete at least one productive, one positive task. That'll give me a sense of self worth, a healthy sense of pride. Not, I've had to explain this to people, but there is a difference between prideful and pride. Okay. There's a difference between being proud of your dog or whatever, being proud of your artwork, being proud of your kids, being proud of whatever, or proud of your progress, proud of your muscles, and then there's also the pride that's bad, like not being able to admit when you're wrong, you know that holds people back and wrecks relationships and all kinds of shit. you know it puts us into some mode of self-denial where like we can never be wrong, and then there's just no progress to be made there. Thank you, Zunko Fried. Yeah, I like this shirt too. It's like, you know what? If I lived in some place like LA, or a place where it's sunny during Christmas time, this would be so appropriate. But it's basically Santa Claus. He's Santa Claus, and he's taking a vacation in Australia, obviously, because there's kangaroos on it. Say it's kangaroo. I like this shirt. It's comfortable. Greeting. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Rory. Well, it wasn't even that hard to find. Yeah, I got it on Amazon. I have a lot of cool clothes from thrift stores and free bins and stuff, but this one I just got from Amazon. You could probably find it maybe. Same with the cowboy shirt that you guys like so much. Oh, thank you, Hugo. I love you too. I love y'alls. All y'alls. Mm. This is one of my favorite shirts. I'm not giving it away. It's the perfect summer shirt, even though it's got Santa on it. Come on, why is this being so weird now? Okay. Gotta add a new payment method. Hmm. Oh, I feel bad for Artie. Uh, my mom has like her nurse over or whatever, and Artie wants to be with my dad at all times. Okay. Say my name. 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 This will be just a moment, guys. Man, I'm gonna be 39 in 2030. Wow, that's a trip. That does not seem like it's that far away either. I'm 35. Damn. Say my name, say my name. No spaces allowed. Thanks for letting me know. Oops. Say my name, say my name. I don't even like Beyonce. I poor thing. Your 35 life is already giving a shitty situation. You vape. I know you do. Well, yeah, I do vape. I think you just saw me vape. I was a pack and a half day cigarette smoker, like I've said. And it's at this point, it's damage control. Trying to keep myself from doing things that'll actually, I mean, for one thing, popcorn lung's a myth. I don't think vaping's good, but it's definitely not as bad as cigarettes. And uh, my lungs were starting to really hurt when I was smoking cigarettes. So I tried to stop and I couldn't. So they say that quitting cigarettes is harder than quitting heroin. It's not as simple as you might think it is. It's really not. I wish I could quit it. Could save a lot of money too. You're not telling me anything I don't fucking know. It's just really annoying. And in fact, if anything, it just makes one wanna a lot it would make a lot of people wanna keep you doing it, you know? I'm a fucking 35-year-old adult, you know? If you should be lecturing anybody or nitpicking anybody, it should be teenagers going around doing it. Children, literal children. And while it is illegal for children to be doing it, you do see it. There are like teenagers vaping a lot. Gosh, there's this one place where I go to get a vape, and they were suspended from selling vapes for about a month because some dipshit sold one of their products to a minor. It's like, wow. And also, I think that some people aren't as concerned for my health as they are for the fact that to them it's unbecoming and doesn't look good. Some people, like, I mean, I've listened to other people say, like, complain about other people vape, and they smoke cigarettes, but they complain about people who vape because, oh, they look like such douches. The only thing that should matter is a person's, health and well-being, not, whether you approve of how it looks or not. A lot of people don't, you don't care about my health. Come on. Just keep your head up. Thank you, Tony. Hey, hey, ancient spirit. Uh, Continue to desktop. Done. Gosh. Say my name, say my name. Stop. Hurt. Wait. Shh. Let me fix this up. Oh yeah. And first thing in the morning, I crack my back so satisfyingly. It's like all up and down up my spine is like, and I do this very. It's not like I. Come on, I've got experience. I've been around back pain. My mom had scoliosis and spinal fusion surgery and all this other shit. You know, um, compounded by her 9 pregnancies. Uh, and the fact that one time when she was bending over to like get something to multitask and she had toddlers around, she once twisted her back and she thinks that's how some of it originated. But anyway, all I have to do to create that crack, that multi crack, it's like all I have to do is this simple little gentle yoga pose and first thing in the morning. It's actually not bad. In fact, it's probably good for me. I would never force my back, my spine, to get a crack. If it, it's like that yoga pose where you lift one knee, leg straight, your back on the ground, and you just like twist your your bottom half and leave this your top half flat. Oh great, I gotta sign in. Come on. Oh, good grief. It's got to verify it's me. I'm trying to share my info with you guys, and I don't know why it's being such a bitch. Okay. Oh, skip, skip, skip. Huh. Wait a minute. This is the wrong one. Say my name. Oh. Okay. I think this is the wrong account. Fudge sickle, man. What the heck? Sign out. Sign in. Other account. Oh, that's weird. Don't you just fucking hate it when it does this? Not prepared here. I think it's gonna work actually. Here we go. Recovery email. Okay. Here we go. Fucking A. Fucking A. I'm never getting this screen protector again. I can hardly see what I'm looking at here. One sec. Yeah, that's as bright as I can get it. Your Insta? Yes, I'll share my Instagram. Absolutely. I'll share my PayPal, Cash App, Instagram, and Discord in case anyone would like to commission me or whatever, or just support the channel in any way. Let's see. And I appreciate that. Okay, so can you open your mouth? I am your subscriber. Please request you. Dude. Sorry, man. This isn't OnlyFans. Just saying. And I don't have an OnlyFans, by the way. Not gonna do that. Never say never. No. I mean, yeah, that's not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. I'm sure the money is a little tempting, and I can totally empathize with people who end up resorting to that because they can't even afford to pay feed their kids, like they're that desperate and they just can't find a job. So help me, that's a fast way to make a lot of money for some people. Um, but it kind of it compromises my future prospects. Just not no. Yeah, and also as someone who's Catholic, that's just doesn't sound right to me. Then no. Okay, so my Instagram is Anna dot Katrina. Oh my goodness, thank you very much. You look like the girl from Resident Evil 3 remake, PlayStation 5. I've never played a PlayStation 5, but I've heard some bad things about that system. Not only that, but since the first PlayStation came out, every single one from that point onward and after that, they all went down in price, like half, except for PlayStation 5. That's the only console out of all the PlayStations that has gone up in how expensive it is. And not to mention, when I looked at that thing, I thought that's got to be hard to wash. Like that thing's got to get so dusty inside and really difficult to to ensure that it's clean. Mm-mm. Yeah, a lot of people try to like tell me not to get a PlayStation 5 if because I wanted to get a PlayStation whenever I'm able to get a console. I don't know which one I'll get. Maybe PlayStation 4. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I've heard there are pretty bad things about the fifth one. Uh Discord is gonna be Emerald, like the stone, wing underscore emerald underscore, and then wing, like the butterfly wing, underscore 13473. Alrighty. And I pinned it. It's right there, guys. I can see you guys a lot better right here. I prefer just playing my Switch or computer. That's exactly what I have, man. I have a gaming laptop and a Nintendo Switch. That's pretty much what I have. I have a lot of games on my Nintendo Switch too. I've got Alien Isolation, and I've got Final Fantasy 7. I've got oh, I really wanted to get Luigi's Mansion. That one looks really good. Holy shit, you're scary looking. Oh my god. Why do you think I'm scary looking? What? How am I scary looking? You afraid of a little acne? Like one's it here and one's it here? It's kind of weird how I have one here and one here. Like I'm crying acne. My acne's so bad that it's like looking like teardrops. It's no. I know. It's not the acne. It's I don't know why people say that. Oh, okay. Well, then you sound like you have an idea. Like what the fuck? Rebecca from Resident Evil. I'll look that up. I don't know which Resident Evil is that. I can't remember. I've played Resident Evil 0 and a little and some of Resident Evil 4. A lot of Resident Evil 4. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Let me uh let me see what she looks like. I think I have looked her up. Come on, why is my computer being all weird? There we go. Resident Evil. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think she's from Resident Evil 0, actually. Man, it's been so long since I've played that game. Yeah, she is in that game. Okay, yeah. I had a GameCube a long time ago, and that was one of my first games, Resident Evil 0. It's been so long since I've played that game. Afraid of some cuteness. Aw. Well, thank you. Am I an Animal Crossing player? No. No. No, I've never even played it. Mm-mm. I like PlayStation games and I like Nintendo games. I like Xenogears is my favorite from 1998. It's an RPG kind of like Final Fantasy 7. I like Final Fantasy 7. Xenogears is my absolute favorite. I like Chrono Trigger. Those games are all very similar. They have fantastic storylines, great characters, and everything. Like so many good plot twists, like morbid, mysterious, just great music. Okay. And I like Donkey Kong, Land 1 and Land 2 and Land 3. And I like, especially Land 2. The one of Dixie Kong is really good. I like Mario. I want to really, really want to play Luigi's Mansion. That's going to be one of the next games I get. And I like Nancy Drew games because I mean I have a bit of a nostalgic sen- uh, sensibility for Nancy Drew because my grandma, that was one of the very first video games I ever got from, like, my grandma got bought me the computer game. She bought us the Treasure in the Royal Tower. And I really like um oh my gosh, I had so much fun with Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo was fun as hell. Um uh Cyberpunk 2077 was fun as fuck. Um I really like let's see. I just bought BioShock. I'm looking forward to playing that. Um, I just, yeah, I had to get more space for my laptop though, because I'm having a hard time being able to download games now, which sucks. Oh, I thought hmm, yeah, I thought I had a little more space than that on this thing, but you live and you learn. I'm not that good with computers, unfortunately, but I'd like to learn how to use OSB Studio, OBS Studio. Just the more it's like when I try that software and I fuck it up, it just makes me less confident about the next time I attempt it. I mean, I might have a little more renewed confidence starting fresh, but there's also that fear of wasting time in the back of my mind and making you guys watch me scream at my laptop trying to figure it out. It's just, but it's, I feel a little better knowing that I'm certainly not the only one who has trouble with that software whatsoever. I mean, it's used for a multitude of different things. Like people use it for all kinds of things. So, so yeah, I mean, and not only that, but I wasn't even really doing it wrong. There's a step I missed, or the format completely shifted. I don't know what went wrong there, but it seemed like there's this one little thing I needed to fix, and I fixed that, and all of a sudden the whole format on my screen changed completely, confusing me a lot. So we'll try that sometime. I love playing Skyrim too, dude. That's what I'm playing Skyrim right now. I mean, you could play that game forever. Um, Thank you very much, Ogun. I'm watching from Turkey, Istanbul. Greetings. Greetings back, man. Thank you. Isn't it funny to me that people like Bob try and cut people down and think it's funny? Bob, you're super insecure about yourself. You have to be mean to others. Literally, shut the F up. Yeah, I don't know what Bob's problem is. Like, what a weirdo. They're probably really bored. Am I recovering from meth? Get the fuck off. Bye bye. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Wow, that's where I that's where I draw the line. You know? But I think that, like, even if I had never used heroin in my life, simply because I'm skinny, if I have a single fucking blemish on my face, um, because I'm not like a mainstream looking person, I've got sharp features or whatever. Oh, I guess that to them means I'm a meth addict. Mm. I mean, people would still call me a meth addict, just, to be hateful, because I've seen it happen to other people who are skinny, or a little underweight or whatever. I've seen people on social media accuse them of being on drugs when they've never touched them. You know, it's like when being overweight or being somewhat obese becomes mainstream and normalized, and like that's like normal and healthy to some people. They start to, when they see a skinny person or someone who's even an average weight, depending on where you are in the world, people are going to look at that person and be like, oh my gosh, they're dying, they're on drugs. Like, you know everyone's different, everyone has different body types. There's some people who've been thin their whole lives, including myself. Not only that, but there's jealousy there too, because these people, these fat influencers and body positivity folks, they go around preaching and like Megan Trainor, dissing women for being skinny and stuff. Like, that's not body positive, but of course it's very hypocritical. um Ozempic comes along and they jump right on it. They jump right on it because guess what? Everyone wants to be svelte. Everyone wants to be fucking slender. But they kid themselves, and they tried to make it a thing, but people are gonna, humans are gonna be humans. Humans are gonna human. You can't really change what people, the average person perceives as attractive, or whatever. Most people just don't think that it's attractive to be spilling out of your clothing, so to speak, you know? And I'm not trying to insult anyone, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but people are awfully think it's okay to be really mean to me because I'm thin. people are really mean to skinny people, and that's okay somehow. It's not. That's not body positive. It's not nice. Mm. You're looking like a horror movie actress. It's been a long the last horror movie I saw was Final Destination 2. I never watched the first one. I work out, but it's because I'm friggin' ADHD. Yo, that's a really good practice for people who have ADHD, man. In fact, I've heard of people like with kids that have ADHD. There are some classrooms where they have these pedals installed into their desks, on their desks, so that they can pedal while they're doing their schoolwork. And it really helps a lot of people who have ADHD. And I know that I've got it. And oftentimes when I'm like, if I'm painting, I gotta be listening to something, podcast, whatever. I've got to be standing up, sitting down, moving around, um, kind of, you know, multitasking in a way. I can't. There are times when I can, and I do, but that's when I have to really get into it and gain momentum for that. Otherwise, I need some type of noise in the background or something that I want to listen to while I'm painting. It's one of those things. Or like when I'm reading, oftentimes I like to have a snack, or that's probably one reason why I vape. It's like it's so hard for me to do nothing. It's that hand to it's a oral fixation that most people have, you know, to some extent. Thank you very much, Ogun. Nice to meet you. Resident Evil Rebecca, always be happy. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. The new Final Destination was dope. Okay. I probably haven't seen the new one. I saw the old one. I mean, no, the second one. It looked very early 2000s. Do I have a voice in my head when I read? Oh, yeah, I do. I do. And gosh, I wish I had kept notes of this because someone once explained like two different ways that people read, and they described one way that I related to very much, which was like it's it's like you're trying to formulate the words in your head. You can hear the words in your head, and oftentimes that itself distracts from being able to just comprehend everything that's on the page. And I mean, I it depends on how a book is written. I really like John Steinbeck. I never have problems with John Steinbeck. But there are some writing styles which kind of uh derail me, and make it so that I can't like concentrate and keep myself completely immersed in the book. Like Ernest Hemingway's writing, while I love his short stories and I loved The Sun Always Rises and a few of his other books, it's his writing style. Shando, did you just rip a beep? Goodness, buddy. Um, that dog's gassy right now. I think I gave him some yogurt. That's probably why. Um, God, that fart distracted me, dude. But yeah, I mean, so it's Ernest Hemingway's writing style tends to be a little more choppy, a little more terse, shorter sentences, and it's just like I like John Steinbeck's writing a lot better. Pickled beets are delicious. I love pickled beets. That's how I felt about Dostoevsky at times. Yeah, like, and also I think that with reading, a lot of people don't read because they feel like they have to, like it's exercise or something. Read whatever you're interested in, man. Then you'll develop a love of reading, you know? Read whatever you're interested in, you know? there are books that you won't be able to put down simply because you're interested in the subject at hand and the characters and all that, you know? Don't think that you need to enjoy a book because it's a classic or because other people enjoy it. That might actually put a person off reading, especially if they're really young and it's like teacher or mom or whoever tells you you got to read this book. That can turn a kid off reading. Oh, it's so boring, I think that kids should be able to choose what they read so long as it's not too trash, twaddle. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. My dog is very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Ogun. Steinbeck, yeah. He has easier reads and he's got harder reads, just like Tolkien did. The Hobbit, really easy. The Lord of the Rings, much harder than The Hobbit. I wouldn't even consider it hard, but some people might. Um, for instance, of John Steinbeck, of Mice and Men, easy, high school level, pretty much. Although there are certain philosophies in that short book which I think are just too mature for a teenage audience. Like for instance, I'm sure a lot of them wouldn't pick up on the fact unless they're having some like debate in the classroom about the book, whatever. The whole purpose of that book, the whole moral to that story was that Candy, George, and Lenny, Curly's wife, all the characters in that fucking book never achieved their dreams, never got their dreams fulfilled. Everyone wanted something in that book. None of them ever attained it. And it's and it reflects the quote that book's famous for. It wasn't like Scott Burns, the best laid plans of mice and men go awry. The higher your expectations, the harder the fall. The higher expect things to happen your way, the more it's going to hurt when things don't go your way. Otherwise, if you hope for the best and expect the worst, try to think realistically, be a realist about things, no come into things with no expectations, but hope for the best. Then it's like when things don't go the way you would have hoped, and it's like, oh, easy come, easy go. It's not, you're not as hard on yourself. You're not as disappointed in yourself. You don't feel as much like a fool for getting your hopes up so much. East of Eden is a harder read than of Mice and Men. It's a very deep, multi-layered book. It's like 600 plus pages. That's my favorite one. And I would say it's just more difficult just because of the complexity of the storyline, or just the layers and layers of drama and characters and plots and twists, and it's my favorite book of all time. And I've encouraged some of my friends to read that book and they loved it too, so there's that. um but yeah, he's got some easier ones. That's with a lot of authors. They'll have books that are easy reads and some that are a little bit harder, like Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables and the Emily Starr series or whatever. Those are very easy reads to me. It's some of my favorite books. You don't need to be reading like Plutarch's Lives or Ivanhoe, or and I enjoy those books too, but those are relatively difficult, especially these days when a lot of people aren't used to reading as much unless it's their little article on their phone or whatever. What do I got up here? I've got Robert Louis Stevenson's Kidnapped. I've got some natural history books. I've got books on the ancient world, Greece and Rome. I've got a lot of graphic novels. I've got Plutarch's Lives. It's a book from 1870 something. It's an old book. You want to see it? It's a beautiful book. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's a different book. Sorry, but there's still like old books here. It's in there somewhere. I'm probably not gonna get into it. I don't want all my books falling on me. I've got Zora Neale Hurston's complete short stories. She's really good. Critique of Judgment by Immanuel Kant. Okay. I've got lots of art books, lots of coffee table art books, really good quality. Some of them I'm gonna sell though. I'm not really there are some that I don't even use and they don't they just take up room. The hell? Okay, anyway. Of course I've got the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Got some beautiful volume for that. I've got Steinbeck's Life in Letters. It's an accumulation of all of his letters, all of his notes, notes from his friends and family, all uh, compiled into one book. And it's awesome. I've got. Would you shut the fuck up? I got poetry. I've got Baudelaire and Dylan Thomas. One of us is gonna get trapped. God, I love the way you think. Oh, thank you. The doll is in your souls, indeed. Freaky doll. Yeah, oh, good. She's not flashing you like she sometimes does. By the way, Shando's not the one barking. It's the other dog because there's a like some nurse practitioner in our house right now, and he's throwing a fit. Steinbeck really opened up California to a 20th century America. Absolutely, absolutely. And I really like his book Travels of Charlie. It's one of his last books, if not his last. And in it, he realizes that he's written so much about America and Americans, but he doesn't really know America and Americans. So he traveled in his car, I forget what kind of car it is exactly, but it's got like kind of a trailer built in, a home. And he traveled with his poodle Charlie from east to west to rediscover America. It's a really good book. Would ya shut up? And he was actually, by the way, he was actually there. He was present at that event where Ruby Bridges was taken, to this school where it was like only white people went to this school, and she was like the first black child to go to this school. And everyone was throwing, like, even the adults were throwing freaking fruit at her and stuff, like being really, really terrible. And John Steinbeck himself, when he saw that all go down, he said it made him so sick to his stomach. He just he hated it. So you know what? And also, he's also, not only is he not racist, and he was from the 20s and 30s, he was also he definitely wasn't sexist either. He wasn't a misogynist. And why the reason why I bring that up is because oftentimes, I mean, I was obsessed with John Steinbeck. I've been obsessed with John Steinbeck for like over a decade. And when I worked at that cafe, I'd talk about him, and there would be some woke morons who'd come up and be like, "Oh, he's such a sexist, misogynist, blah blah blah. Oh, he's such a bigot." Where do you get that from? Like, where do you get that idea? Because in his books, and I've read at least maybe 8 of them, uh, like, he has some of the most complex, interesting female characters. Obviously, this person's probably only read of Mice and Men, and they're probably referring to that character who's only referred to as Curly's wife. But I feel like there's a reason for that. You know, they've never read East of Eden, where you have Liza, the strong matriarch of the family, and Kathy Ames, one of the most fascinating antagonists and characters in general of any book I've ever read. You know, like people just want something to fucking bitch about and play devil's advocate and be contradictory. It's like, oh, yo, I'm gonna try to make you hate John Steinbeck now because I can see how much joy you get from John Steinbeck. Like, fucking A, man. People suck. That just, yeah, it's weird. Thank you very much, Ogun. My fashion philosophy is if you're not covered in dog hair, your life is empty. There you go. Yeah. I'm glad that Shando has short hair, man, because he doesn't like baths. I give him sponge baths, and I'm very thorough. But man, he makes that really difficult. I have to put a collar on him or something so I can hold on to him and kind of. It's really hard, man. He does not like baths. He doesn't like getting his back wet. He's fine with, tromping around, splashing in puddles. And, when we go to the beach, he'll jump into the ocean waves. Or when we're walking through the park, he'll jump into the fountain and go splashing, splish, splash. He does not like rain. He does not like showers. Mm-mm. You got the whole world in this chat. Oh, thank you. My PayPal won't accept your money. Well, thank you. Thank you for the thought, man. I appreciate that. Um, do I have it spelled right here? At Ann G333. It's right there. At Ann G333. Huh. I don't know why it's not working, but thank you regardless. Question: why don't you include smoking as a type of addiction on your channels? It is an addiction, man. It is an addiction. Just because I've overcome heroin addiction, 6 years of heroin addiction, and cigarette addiction, which, I'm kind of supplementing it with this. It's called damage control. You know what? There are other things I'm addicted to, like, oh, gee, I don't know, watching true crime, which, yeah, I am. Um, I'm addicted to, I could probably think of a few things. Cream of wheat. I'll eat cream of wheat twice a day sometimes. And I gotta sometimes force myself to eat something different. Like there are different things that I'm not as many, but I used to be a fucking heroin addict and I've overcome heroin, man. That's something to be proud of. That has no comparison to vaping. Vaping, for one thing, is completely legal for someone who's 30 fucking 5. And for one thing, another thing, you're not telling me anything I don't fucking know. I know it's not good for me. But are you perfect? Or is every single little thing you do in your life good for your health? If so, good for you. But most of us have one or two vices, which, that does not eliminate my credibility as someone here to try to encourage people to recover or to try to better their lives and their habits and get away from addiction. This is not a crippling addiction. It's not gonna, it's probably, I'm trying to wean down bit by bit, not do it as much. But with everything that's going around here, it's probably the best way to just sort of calm down my anxiety and keep me from doing something that's way worse for my health. Like cigarettes. In fact, I almost got back on cigarettes. I was very close. In fact, I had one and I wanted more, you know. So it's damage control. That does not mean that I can't talk to people about my experiences with heroin and try to encourage people to get better. And obviously, I mean, I'm almost certain that people want to nitpick my credibility and they do not care about my health. A lot of people who say, "Oh my god, you're vaping," is more because they find it unbecoming. And if I were, I'm not a feminist or anything, but here's the thing: I've seen the way people talk about dudes vaping and the way people talk about women vaping. And people seem to have a lot more issues with women vaping than men vaping because it's just unbecoming. It's kind of like how in certain places, like smoking cigarettes is so normalized. Like there's some like Asian countries where a lot of people smoke cigarettes, but the women don't unless it's like in private or something, because like society deems it unbecoming. Now, we should be thinking about health first and foremost, but I know it's obvious as hell that the reason why most people, I should say, not everyone, some people might genuinely care about my health and whatever, but most people don't give a flying fuck about my health. They just want me to stop doing it because it bothers them. No, everybody did heroin in teenage. What the heck? No, that's not true. I I don't know who Baba Neem Karoli is, to be honest. Have you ever considered visiting him? I don't know who that is, but I can look him up. I've heard of Baba Ram Das. Uh, Be Here Now. It's been a while since I've read that. It was recommended to me by my best friend back in the day. Oh, I love Clint Eastwood. I think he is still alive. He's really old though. I love Nancy Drew. Yeah. And one of these days, yeah, I should play that on my live stream. But I really want to figure out OSB Studio. Thank you, Ogun. You have a good day too. Am I an artist? Yeah, yeah. I'd love to show you guys some of my paintings too. Let me see here. I can show you. Well, this one's just on the wall here. I always show you guys this one because it's right on my wall. It's one of my favorites. But this is an oil on panel. This is my best friend. He passed away 5 years ago. But yeah, he was one of my best friends. Oil on panel. All right, there's that one. And let's see. I'm gonna show you. Sorry, baby. John Steinbeck. Here's John Steinbeck watercolor. Watercolor and charcoal on paper. One thing more, a whole bunch more actually. I gotta use the restroom, unfortunately. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Keep the doll company. Make sure the doll doesn't go crazy. Be right back. But no, 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 honey. I can't let you out, honey. But I'll be right out. Okay. I'll be right out. Yeah, Toby. I know. We're having someone over, and I don't want you to get all mixed up in that. Kerfuffle. You like the word kerfuffle, Shando? Are you a kerfuffle? What's up? Hey, yeah, yeah. Okay, how is it going? 60 people, two people live. Amazing. I know, right? Like, okay, so I wasn't even expecting that. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I wasn't expecting that because I've been, kind of, uh, letting myself go with the live streaming. I haven't been live streaming as much this week, this past week. In fact, this week and last week was pretty bad. Last week was terrible, man. Like I was so depressed. I didn't there was just so much fucking shit going on. And I'm not gonna get into all that, but man, it was just bad. The doll's moving. Man, that's what everyone says. What should I name her, guys? I haven't named her yet. Baby, hi. You got something right near your jowls. Your jowls. Okay, look at this baby and his jowls. He licks his lips when he's relaxed. Wow. You're such a sweetie pie. Why? You're just spreading all the puppy breaths around. Gosh. I love my boy. Yeah, he's my cute one. I love him. He's my best friend. Ooh, turn on the fan. Not a bad idea. I have a little fan right here. I'll put it, in fact, I'll direct it right on my dog here if I can. It's actually, no, I don't think I can. Let me see here. Such a weak fan, too. Okay, well, turning it on anyway. Throw the doll away. It's terrifying. You really think I'm gonna do that? You really think I'm gonna throw away a doll that was like $300? No. I like dolls. I have a lot of them. And anywho, if I were gonna do anything with it other than keep it, it would be selling it. I'd sell it. Golden glutinous rice. Where's the doll? Behind me. Here. Don't want her to flash, you guys. There she is, guys. Her wig is kind of askew. There we go. That looks better. Meh. It was a present. Twas a gift. Yeah, I like dolls. I like Barbies. I like these Monster High dolls. Are pretty cool. Barbies give me nostalgia because I used to collect them as a kid. And I know that certain collections, certain dolls from like the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s can be get pretty valuable. So I'm hoping that maybe a few of my dolls can fetch in a pretty penny someday. I'm not sure. And probably not since I have nowhere to put most of them and the boxes get kind of banged up and you want for them to be absolutely pristine. So yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma, but I still love collecting dolls. My grandma collected dolls, and I'm carrying on her tradition. Did you try modeling? No, I've never done that. I've never modeled. I almost modeled for a friend. This was a long time ago. Their place was so hard to find. It was like in the freaking woods or something. I could not. I mean, not kind of in. It's in the city, but it's kind of like it's hard to find. It's really hard to find. I mean, of course, I've been there like a few times and so I could find it now. But back when I first tried to find this place, I was too late because I got lost. I had to take like three different buses. Which country am I from? The US, the US of A. God bless your soul, sister. Thank you. Thank you, Kai. I'm wearing pimple patches, yeah, on these ones here, yeah. Not here though, because this one I shouldn't have messed with. But it'll be gone in a couple days probably. This was really big, man. Like this morning I peeled off my pimple patch and it was so big. It was like saturated completely. Isn't that gross? But still, it was satisfying because it was giant and yeah, it's much, much smaller now. I shouldn't mess with that. But thank you for reminding me of that. Baba Neem Karoli. Yeah, I was looking for that for some reason. Again, see, Baba Neem Karoli. Okay, I'll look that up in a bit later because I don't want to get copyrighted. How are you doing today? I hope that you're doing good today. Thank you, Adithya Ashok. I'm doing good today. Thank you. Language? What do you mean? I'm speaking English. I did take Chinese for 3 years though. Mandarin. Mandarin Chinese. Did you try Vipassana meditation for example? I'll write that down because I'm very fascinated in different modes of meditation. Um, uh, you you look kind of Italian. That gives you that mo. Oh, thank you. I don't have any Italian in me though. It's mostly English. English, Welsh, a little bit of Danish. Like actually, considering how much of a mutt I am, I have quite a bit of Danish, like 17%. But it's for the most part English and Welsh. I'm gonna write that down and yeah, next time I live stream, I'll tell you guys what I think of that. I also really like those grounding meditations. My therapist walked me through a bunch of these early on with our first sessions where um, you kind of just take in all the sensory elements around you and you feel the weight of your body as you're meditating. You focus on each little, each ligament, each appendage from, or your each body part from your feet up to your head. And gosh, I need to look this up again. I should practice it a lot more because it does help, man. I wake up my eyes feeling a lot better after doing that. That should have been something that I practice practiced when I was depressed too. That would have helped a lot, I think. Maybe. It's hard when you're in that mind zone though, right? When there's just like you feel like you can't even escape because everyone else is so emotional and combative and confrontational and so like and it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. No matter what you do, someone's gonna get offended or whatever. It's hard. It's like I understand on one hand that we're dealing with a crisis here and we're all dealing with it, but it's not helping anyone, to take it out on people, you know. Just saying, you shouldn't take things out on people, especially since like they might not understand. They're never going to be able to understand completely what you're going through if you breed resentment in them and make them not even want to listen to you, let alone talk to you, you know? Also, it's like there are some people where I'll sit down and I'll listen, like I'll be their emotional sponge, so to speak, and give them a shoulder to cry on and listen. I'll be there for fucking 3 hours, man. And then as soon as like I start to, try to share my take or in a different scenario, if I'm to come along and try to confide in them or share my emotions or like my concerns, they fucking interrupt me mid sentence and change the subjects. Like okay, so if you're not gonna respect me or listen to me or whatever, like whenever I want to share something or you know, then like why do you almost demand that I sit here for hours on end listening to you go around in circles and tell me the same shit and blah 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 and twist things you've said in the past and like it's just yeah it's crazy, makes me want to go crazy. Yeah, but that's a lot of people are like that, I guess. Yeah, don't let's just not listen to people like Wish. Terrible person. I don't look like a junkie. In fact, I think that they're probably just upset that they're chinless and probably mm, looking like um a bloated gopher. That's probably what they look like. Bloated gopher. Just saying. You look a bit Irish. I know I must have a little bit of Irish in me. It's actually depression suffering for me. Yeah. I just, it all kind of amounts to my feeling guilty over not being productive and over just letting myself sort of fester in my own misery. So I'm just taking it one day at a time now. I'm just trying to get better, trying to get back into the habit of getting up, being productive. And I'm telling you, man, I'm not saying weed's bad. Again, we all experience things differently. We all have different chemistries. It can help someone with Parkinson's, glaucoma, chronic pain, various ailments. But for me myself, I'd been doing it mostly on since I was 20. So 15 years. So it doesn't affect me the same now as it did when I was younger. And when I heard about like when my mom was in the hospital, I just could not be in my mindset. I went straight to the dispensary and spent a fortune on weed. And then that really just destroyed my motivation. That part, that combined with my depression, then I didn't feel like getting up and doing anything after smoking weed. I waked and baked and I just lay in bed depressed all day long until like maybe 3 o'clock. And then I'd apply for a job even though I didn't feel like it at all. It was not didn't have my heart and mind into it. It was just doing it because I felt like I feel like I have to, and I do, and I am doing it. But man, that was miserable. You know, it made me groggy, and it made me more depressed and anxious. It totally killed my motivation. And I gave the rest of my weed away, and I was like, hey, you know what? I can't. I'm gonna try to quit because I'm not getting anything done when I smoke this much weed, when I smoke every day. And I can't, when it's on my bedside table, I can't avoid it. I don't have enough. impulse control for that, unfortunately. So it needs to be out of sight, out of mind. And so I did, and hence why I'm here today. That's why I got up and I set off to work on the official painting of Christ. This year is going to be a preliminary because I really like that panel I have. I've just applied um, a few layers of gesso. You want to apply that primer in a crisscross sort of action. So give it a more stronger structure once it dries, crisscross. And then I'm gonna sand it so that it's really smooth. And then I'm gonna set to work with some charcoal on the overall composition. And I'm gonna go over that with the paint, with the very different layers and textures. It's gonna be awesome because I have a wonderful idea for a painting. In fact, it's like once I have an actual once I'm convinced, once I know what I want to paint, once I have this idea in my mind, I'm like eager. I like my mouth waters for painting. I'm craving painting. Whereas if I like, if I have no idea what I'm gonna paint, I feel anxious and apprehensive, and sometimes it takes just sitting down and getting into the motion, kind of like creative writing, where it's like you start writing creative writing and you just don't stop. Whereas like the hardest part is starting. There's that apprehension, which is just terrible. It's this fear and apprehension of like, oh, what am I going to write? I've got nothing going on in my head. Then once you set your pen to paper or paintbrush to canvas, it just ideas like just start to emerge as you're going along. It's really awesome. It's giving Stranger Things in the best way possible. I saw the first season of that. It's a good show. I need to watch more of it. You need some connection and some love. That's all you need. You know what? I think you're right. Not only that, but I've heard someone say that the opposite of addiction is connection. And to an extent I agree with that, you know. I was at least when I started doing heroin, I was completely disconnected. My grandma just passed away and she was my hero. I lived with her and took care of her for the last 4 months of her life. Before then, I moved um okay, so there's a whole thing with my ex, which was terrible. You know, he beat me and he cheated on me, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, so after that, he cheated on me because he wanted an open relationship. Yo, I should have left him the moment he fucking choked me and beat me till I was blacked out, and also destroyed one of my paintings with a knife. I'm just fucking serious. It was an acrylic painting too, and I'm not a big fan of acrylic, but it was the first uh medium in terms of painting that I ever experimented with besides watercolor. You know? Anyway, so it was a very special painting. And he destroyed it. Anyway, so there was all that went on for like 4 years. And then after we broke up, I lived on my own. It was very depressing. And then after that, I moved in with my grandma because I heard she was lonely, needed help getting her meds, and she'd forget. She was real sharp as a tack, but she'd still forget a few things. She was 89. So I went to live with her. And then 4 months later, and it was some of the best months of my life just being with her. She's an angel, and I have so many good childhood memories with her. After that I went to move in with my sister and her roommates and such. And that didn't last very long because the roommates moved away and then they had to go their own way and I had to go my own way. And so after that, and man, you know what? Those people are such creeps. For one thing, the guy, so there, I'm talking about the roommates here, okay? Not related to my sister or her boyfriend or whatever. But these roommates, for one thing, the woman was lying about me because she didn't like me. And I'll tell you why she didn't like me. Because her boyfriend, we're moving my stuff from grandma's house over to their place. And the first thing her boyfriend says to me is, "You look like you could use more sex." And I'm just like, This is the ugliest toad looking motherfucker you'd ever see in your life, man. He's worse than Big Ed. No, he fucking looks like Big Ed. Anywho, if y'all know who Big Ed is, you'd know. You'd know. You know who Big Ed is? Look at Big Ed. Cinnamon Toast Ken covers him. Michelle McDaniels covers him. Fucking A. Big Ed. Anyway, so this guy looks like Big Ed. And his girlfriend, like, she was around when he was talking like this to me. And she lied to my sister about me. And, like, okay, so she okay, I'm not even gonna get into it, but she said some things that were just completely wrong about me to my sister. And my sister fucking believed her, of course, because like, oh, believe my friend over my sister. Well, they're not friends anymore, suffice to say. And yeah, weird. That was all really weird. There were fucking lies left and right, man. I was helping with groceries. I had just lost my place twice and took care of my grandma and all this other stuff. I'm struggling and struggling to find a job, and I'm constantly getting harped on. Oh, have you found a job yet? Have you found a job yet? Like everything that was said to me while I lived there was uh, indicative of like someone's like fucking turning my sister against me, so to speak. She fucking the looks she gave me. Um, she got mad because one time because I mean I did something that was a little naughty one a couple few times I uh had some of her vitamin gummies. So you know what I did before anyone even like found out about it? I went because I had this idea in mind, I just like, yeah, it kind of like built up until like maybe a week later, you could probably see that some of them were gone. So I went to the store and bought some more. In fact, I bought her a surplus of gummy vitamins, the exact same kind. But she still came up to me and was so mad at me, like, oh, the audacity for you to have some of my vitamin gummies. No, but the thing is, like, if she saw me as like a friend, like my sister or whoever, like she wouldn't have been, talking to me that way and exaggerating it and making me out to be such a bad guy when, you know, I was buying them groceries and I didn't think that a few back then at least, I didn't think that a few gummy vitamins would piss someone off so much. But man, you would think that I fucking betrayed her in the worst way possible from that. You know what, JJJ? You suck. Bye bye. Anyway, so I'm up in the loft. I'm sleeping in the loft. And the boyfriend of my sister's friend, like, right? The roommate. He's sitting at his computer right there where I can see him. All I have to do is lift my head up from my bed and I can see him downstairs. He's spanking the monkey. He's spanking the monkey right there. He's jacking off right in front of me at his computer. Just imagine Big Ed doing that. That's pretty much what I saw. Ew. That was gross. Why do some guys think we want to see that? We don't. We don't. Ew. This guy was so creepy. Not only that, but his dad. And again, I'm not going to drop names. Don't want anyone getting hurt or bullied, whatever, even if they deserve it. But his dad actually went to prison for murdering someone. No shit. He actually did murder someone. And someone. Allegedly, I should say. But it's true. It's what shit, man. That's what I've been told, and I believe him. What's up, gangsta? Hi, James. You just farted again. Oh no. Dude, it was torture. You think this looks like a grandma shirt here? You're no fun. You're no fun, man. You're no fun out to nitpick. Out to nitpick because it's all you got. I have nothing good to do. It's not a granny shirt, man. Like, young people wear blouses all the time. Summer blouses. Fucking stupid. Stupid. Imbecile. Can I hear you snore? Why? I want to know why you want me to snore. Why do you want that? And if I do it, are you going to pay me? That's stupid. Like, why do you want me to do that, man? What kind of a, I mean, it's probably your etish, but, like, why do you want me to do that? Unless, yeah, I mean, shit, no, I'm not gonna do stupid things to amuse people unless I feel like it. I do what I want. Those are some crazy roommates. What did you do when you saw Big Ed yanking it? I was just like, went back into bed and pretended to be asleep, dude. I fuck. I didn't want him to know that I saw it, you know? He wanted me to see that, obviously. Creep. Dude, even his girlfriend looked like the female version of Big Ed, albeit with some type of Down syndrome. No offense to people who have that condition. They're some of the sweetest people on earth. And you know what? Like that I was sickened. In fact, I'm still sickened by that couple who decided to abort their baby because it had Down syndrome. That is eugenics right there. That is disgusting. There are down people with Down syndrome, speaking of which, by the way, who lead perfectly happy, fulfilling lives filled with love and just they're decent people. So I was about to say that that time I went to apply for that job at that recovery clinic and it just went awry. Like, I had my appointment scheduled, everything, and they basically turned me away. I was sweating, man. I looked terrible. I really tried to make myself look presentable and everything, but I didn't know how hot it was going to be outside for one thing. I was wearing a big, heavy leather jacket. I had, Shando in tow, and he was fine. But like the way they looked at me was like, "Oh, you're a junkie. We don't need you here around people trying to recover." Like that, it was obvious. It was so if you'd been there, you would have probably agreed with me because it was obvious. Anyway, so that day was so shitty. On my way home, I'm on the bus just feeling really down on myself, thinking like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? Um, I was clearly on their schedule, but and even when I called the man, the guy who sort of administrates things, who set up this whole interview. He said, "Oh yeah, you are on the schedule, and they should at least, be talking to you about it." But no, they were just like the two people who were supposed to talk with me. First of all, the girl at the front desk, she's like, "Okay, so can you remember their names?" There were questions like that, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't remember names that well." And she's just like, "Hmm," like I'm lying. And so she's like, "Oh, do you mean Michelle?" And I'm like, yes, yes." I'm thinking to myself, huh, why is it that I run into so many mean Michelles in my life? Not that all Michelles are mean, but there are a lot of mean Michelles in my life. Anyhow, so Michelle comes out along with some other dude who's supposed to interview me. They take one look at each other and they're like, "You deal with this." Like I'm a problem. Like I just wandered in off the streets asking for stuff, asking for money, asking for drugs, trying to get drugs from people who obviously there are some drugs in that place because you got people in there like outpatients, um, yeah, you got people there trying to recover. So there's going to be drugs. So they probably thought I was going in there to get drugs. I was sweating, like I was wearing that cotton shirt where all the sweat just pools. Anyhow, so especially but I get that way when I'm nervous sometimes. And it was really hot. Otter, I shouldn't have worn that much clothing. Anyway, so I get on the bus on my way home, feeling so down. And then there's this older person with someone with Down syndrome with them. They both get on the bus, and this person with Down syndrome just wanted to pet my dog Shando, and Shando was so sweet with this person, and this person was just so sweet with Shando, and it just warmed my heart so much. Like that day was just so devastating and humiliating and embarrassing and just terrible. And then that was the one ray of life throughout my day. So for those people to decide to abort their baby simply because they have Down syndrome is hideous. There are some of those people actually provide a lot of joy for they're oftentimes very, very happy people, but they give so much joy too to the people around them, to the people who love them, you know? This is just such a cruel, superficial, selfish world we live in. Yeah, they're all kangaroos. Art, would you shut up? God damn it. Doesn't You'd think the dogs that Art would get tired. Shando never barks that long. 'Cause I don't know, man. Would you not? You don't like my shirt with Santa Claus? I don't care if you don't like it. Don't care. You think I'm gonna bend over? You think I'm gonna, you know? Sure, that's your opinion, man. I don't care. Anne or Annie? Anne? It's just Anne with an E. You were looking for the drugs? Be honest. What are you talking about? You dipshit. No, I don't do drugs. I only take my prescribed meds, but yeah, I'm gonna try to ignore you. I'm gonna ignore you. It's easy. Where are you located? How about we watch the World Cup right now? The USA, man. The western part of the USA. Love your hair, eyes, and shirt. Agree about the world we live in. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, that's not my dog in there. And I don't like shock collars. I'd have to look into it, but I certainly don't need it for my Shando here. That's my dad's dog, and somehow, he's just gonna bark, 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 and he's not gonna quit. He's not gonna quit. I mean, I can go in there and tell him to stop, but then in a few minutes, he's just gonna continue again. And he's only doing it like this because we have company downstairs. And he's not allowed to go down there because it's a nurse and we don't want any distractions there. Oh, thank you, Mr. Nova. I love you too, man. I would wear that shirt and I'm Gen Z. Nice. Yeah, I'm not a liberal. Fuck you, Adam. You know what? You know what? Fuck you. Look at what we have here. Oh, look what I found. Look what I found. Just happened to find it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, mayday, mayday, mayday. What you gonna do about it? Oh, thank you, Shane. I like you too. But anyway, it's hot. Don't feel like wearing hats right now. But I can wear two at the same time. I could even wear 15 of them at the same time if I had that type kind of money. All right. So there's that. You douche. Douche canoe. Please talk about today's match. What do you think of South Africa's chance to go to next round? I haven't looked into any of that. I look like Hillary Swank? I've never had anyone tell me that. A lot of people tell me I look like that, Sarah Connor from the Terminator, Linda Hamilton. No, he didn't beat me because I didn't want an open relationship, man. That was like the last that's why he cheated on me, because he wanted an open relationship, okay? Like, and he beat me because I can't even fucking fathom as to why that was. I stood up for myself once and he did that. I actually stood up for myself, you know? I was like, I don't want to go for a walk with you right now because I'm afraid that you're gonna scream at me in public and compare me to other women constantly, constantly, like he was really trying to get under my skin. If my shoes so much as shuffled on the pavement briefly, um, he'd get angry about that, like, and I would never hear the end of it. It was just really, 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 really bad, there's no rhyme or reason for why he did that to me. There's no rhyme or reason for why he hit me until I blacked out. No reason. One time I was just crying because of a long day of never hearing the end of it. And just sort of like, sobbing, in the backyard, on the steps next, on the side of the house here. He takes my fucking head and he slams it against the side of the house. Bam, 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 bam. He's choked me once. You know, there were times when, just because I didn't give him his own fucking way, he would do that sort of thing. So there's that. No, I said he cheated on me because he wanted an open relationship. He realized that women liked him when he started going to the university. We went to community college together, and then he started going to university while I was working and just, showing off that he had all this charisma and girls liked him, and he had all these friends who happened to be female. And I had no issue with that. But then it was like, because I fully trusted him. I didn't ever think he'd do that to me. Even though, fuck, man, I was so naive. I was so young and I was so naive, and I should have I feel like I should have known better, but that's what, emotional attachment can do. I had some form of Stockholm syndrome right there, man. I tried to leave him in the past because of the violence and all that. And then like he'd love bomb me. He'd reel me back in. He was very smart, he was very clever, and he knew exactly what to say to pull at my heartstrings and get me to, elicit a little bit of compassion in me, and so that he can reel me back in. Like he was good at that. I had some form of Stockholm syndrome there for sure. Most recovering addicts vote Trump. Where do you have that information? Can you share any evidence of that? Any statistics? Because I don't think that's true. I know a lot of former addicts, and trust me, Uh, some of the places I went to for recovery were in Portland, like outpatient or like those meeting places. And there are a lot of people there who hate my guts because around election time, they gauged that I voted for Trump. I didn't want to tell them, but they gauged it out. And so now I don't go there because I don't like leaving that place with a bad taste in my mouth. It's the point of going to those places is to try to feel better about pursuing life and living a better life. And instead, I'm around people who passive aggressively come up and be like, "Oh, hi, Shando. Hey, sweetie." But just like you're petting my dog, but then it's like, walk away like, act like I don't exist. Just disrespect. Complete. And I was liberal for 10 years. I've been on both sides. And I'll tell you one thing. There've been they've found out that Republicans, conservatives tend to be more open minded than liberals, and that a lot of liberals view their politics like it's some type of religion. If you don't think like us, then you're ostracized, you're out, you're condemned, we'll enact violence on you. We will celebrate violence on you. We'll celebrate your DATH. I don't see that from the right. And now there are a lot of things on the right that aren't perfect, that aren't good, but my gosh, it is predominantly violent and unpleasant and just plain terrible on the left, the way people are acting. It's turning a lot of Democrats, a lot of left-wing people to like independent or right or whatever, because they're disillusioned or they're disappointed in their own in their side, and in the side they used to be on. I found that, when I was liberal for 10 fucking years, I had like 4, and I still have those friends, 4 conservative friends. They all were so nice to me, so benevolent, so kind. We didn't, we'd talk about politics sometimes, but we could agree to disagree. We respected each other very much. I agreed with a lot of what they were saying, even though I wouldn't have said it out loud back then, because I had a lot of liberal friends too who I was afraid of losing my friends, and I was afraid of losing my family members and stuff. And I did end up doing losing that because I had to choose between pleasing other people and keeping so-called friends, so-called family, or keeping my integrity intact, having integrity, being honest. I watched like I watched a lot of Blair White. It just there were a lot of like podcasts and YouTube YouTube channels and other sources. I came to find I had a lot in common with them in terms of my mode of thinking about things, albeit they were more honest than I was at the time. So I found even when I watched left-leaning platforms or programs, I found that I agreed with the right a lot more than the left now. I couldn't even agree with the left, even though everything was pretty much edited to try to make the left look good, even though it was nigh impossible since there was no logic whatsoever to be found on that side. It was so obvious. Um, but when I became conservative, or leaning conservative, I should say, I found that, like, okay, so my cousin ostracized me, told me I was a danger to my family, even though it seems like the left's the one trying to end people and create violence and go after people. Um, People all around me at like work, they just completely slandered me. They completely they treated me with utter disrespect once they found out. And that was because they wanted to know. They gauged it. I was honest with them, and so they go around saying lies about me and trying to slander my name. All because like it's not the same. Oh, I've lost friends. They've ostracized me or they've completely condemned me. Not a single conservative in my life, as much as we agreed to disagree, ever treated me like that. Ever. And they'd still love me now, even if I was still liberal. Although they'd probably think I was a fool, some of them. But yeah, it's crazy. The hypocrisy. The fact that people are willing to believe everything the fucking media says when 99% of it is owned by one side, aka the far left. It's like people are just prefer to be in their own little ignorant uh echo chamber bubble than just nice and comfy, rather than know the truth or care they don't care to investigate any of these things that they're wrong about. All these debunked lies about Trump, they continue to believe that shit because they want to. It's the name that they hate. They hate the name. They associate the name Trump with bigotry. It's insane in the membrane. Thank you, Byron. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for subscribing. I mean, there are some people who want freaking communism here. They want for us to be like Cuba. Some people, like a lot of like people who voted for Mom Dummy, people who agree with Jasmine Crockett. You know, like a lot of these people are the ones who are racist. Even they want to make everything a race war. Like you hear about that one dude, these two young guys, teenagers who got into a altercation. And so it was like a white boy and a black boy. And like one's 17, one's like 18 or 19. I think the white kid was the younger one, 17. So they're in some teenage boy altercation. The white kid just shoves this guy. And then he takes out a knife and stabs him. And you have it all politicized. You have people on the far left, like and people in the Black Lives Matter movement. Which, by the way, all those funds went to all the rich people in their mansions, not to helping black people. Like Trump's done more for the black community than anybody, but in our in office and as a president, but um, since maybe Abraham Lincoln, but whatever, I guess. Um, it's like they don't care to investigate these things because they want to be right. They want to win. They don't care about the truth. So, like, you have people defending this guy. Not only that, but they're sending, like, GoFundMe, like, they've made a GoFundMe for the family of this guy who went to jail, who's now going to jail, I think for life, for murdering this young boy. And so, like, yeah, it's just fucking insane. They've accumulated over $700,000. And I guess to hell with the family who literally lost their son. At least, I mean, I can understand as a parent how hard it would be if your kid was in prison, right, for the rest of their life. That would fucking, I can't even comprehend how much that would hurt. But can they comprehend how much it would hurt if their own son got stabbed to death, murdered? And they don't care. They want to make it a political thing. They want to make it all like a race war, you know? Like this it's racial tribalism. It promotes racism. It's like advocating for someone solely only because of the color of their skin is racism in and of itself. And to think that white people are the only people who can be racist is wrong. It is insane. Doesn't make sense. Like I've seen racism from everyone. Doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, man. Like there are racists blue and yellow, black and white. It doesn't everybody can be that shitty person, Everyone can. And I've seen it from people on all sides, not just white people. So to say that only white people can be racist is racist in and of itself. And there's no logic to it. It's given them the green light to be as racist as they want to be. And then they can deny it. They can gaslight people into thinking, "Oh no, it's only white people who can be racist." It's insane. Oh, thanks, Matthew. The Go Send Go account is a scam, just like the Black Lives Matters donations were. He's saying he has no money for a lawyer for an appeal. Huh. Yeah, man, jeez. It's sickening. It's sickening. Isn't it crazy? Like, someone can get literally murdered, like Charlie Kirk or whoever, and then you have people dancing on his grave. You have people trying to promote the criminal in this case and advocate for them simply only because of one thing, because of the color of their skin. And that is just wrong. The color of your skin shouldn't matter. It's like in the late 90s and early 2000s, people weren't like, of course, you had some sects of people who did think that way. But all in all, by and large, our society wasn't so obsessed with race. So obsessed. Color is all people see these days. And I just, yeah, it's sad. It's exhausting. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. It induces fatigue. And yeah, it's just, it's gross. It's gross. Pe- People should value and discern other people based on the quality of their character, their actions. Um, not whether they have integrity or just you should measure people based on their qualifications and what kind of a person they are, not not what color they are. People do not realize we are stronger together and we have much more in common with each other than we do with the elites. I'm down to talk to anyone within reason. Absolutely. Same. Same. Absolutely. But man, it's so hard to talk to some people, especially people on the far left, because like they just shut you down with try to shut you down with insults, you know? Just almost every single one I've ever talked to, it's like I try to share my beliefs. It's like, oh no, I can't hear this. I can't hear this. Nah, 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 I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's like little kids being told that they can't do something, you know? Hello, Anne. It's been a while since the last time. I see there are still awful people here. Oh, dude, you're telling me. I know. How's it going, Nex? It's good to see you, man. Hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you. I haven't been live streaming as much, but I'm going to try to get back into it. I'm going to try to not hold such high expectations for myself, such unrealistic, unsustainable expectations. I would like to do this every day or most days out of the week, maybe take one day off and make them a little bit shorter. I'll do this until probably 4:30. So another hour sounds about right to me. I can talk about whatever I feel like. Racism is myth. Homo sapiens transverse plateau and barren lands from Africa and dispersed everywhere. And now we have baseless so-called race label. I know, right? That's why I think it's insane. So we're all in all, we're just human, man. Some have a little more melanin than others. Some of us developed uh, shorter eyelashes for a reason, or hooded eyelids to be able to deal with like sand or wind or cold or like whatever. Like there's a scientific reason for why we look the way we do depending on our respective um you know place of birth, where our ancestors come from, I should say. That has nothing, like people were just stupid, man. Like, not only that, but there are a lot of groups who've been treated like shit in this world. I mean, just think about how the Irish were treated. No one ever talks about that. No one ever talks about how the Irish were treated. Mm-mm. Sometimes, but it's only really the Irish who talk about it, right? And they don't go on and on and on and on and about demanding reparations, demanding this and that, from everybody. No, I do. I think that there are some people, some cultures who've been disenfranchised and treated like absolute crap in our history. But I think it's kind of pathetic how some people like to pretend that they've experienced like slavery when like they've experienced it when it's It's, I mean, there's generational trauma for sure, but some of these people act like they were there, and like we're still the bad guys, like white people are still evil, and like they're still promoting that sort of uh standard in life, and that's just, it's just wrong. It's just wrong, and if anything, it's going to breed more resentment, it's going to breed more hate, it's going to breed more division, and that's what they want. They want to breed division to distract us and keep us from, but knowing exactly what they're doing up there on the hill. And it's not good. It's not good, man. I mean, why do they try so hard to silence people who talk about the absolute corruption that's within elite circles? Like, they I wouldn't be surprised if they're consuming little babies. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And thank you very much for the gift, man. Thank you for the gift. That was cute. Thank you for the finger heart, man. One day I'll rule the world in America. Kidding. Hello, friend. Greetings from Mexico. Blessings, friend. I'm from Monterrey, Nuevo Leon. Blessings, friend. Oh, blessings back to you, Miguel. Thank you. And I like the name Miguel. It's a nice name. Do I believe in evolution? Yeah. Yeah, I do. But I'm also Christian. Some people think that those things can't, like, it's not mutually exclusive. I believe that evolution and all its processes were initiated by the hand of God. We don't know what came before then, but I do believe in my heart of hearts and my mind of minds and by faith that God created the world, the universe, and everything had to pan out accordingly in terms of like evolution and all that. Hmm. You hate shampoos that have mint? I had this mint shampoo that felt really nice though. Makes my head feel nice and cool in the summertime. And I like apple scented shampoo. Thank you, Guy Man Free, for the gold coin. I'm sorry, Umberto. I can't. I'm not gonna add any more mods right now. It's no offense to you, man, but it got really out of hand the last time I was too lax with that. In fact, I had someone who obviously they couldn't they despised me because of my political affiliation, just the affiliation itself. And when I let them be my mod, I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but they were causing fights amongst all the other mods. They were um just deleting people, blocking people left and right for no reason. I'm not saying you're going to do that, but there are people who will try to gain that sort of power over my channel, with my channel, so that they can try to sabotage the success of my channel because they don't approve of my politics. I love Kafir. Oh, I got that mod thing figured out. It really wasn't that hard. I just had to, log into my YouTube studio on my laptop, which had a hard time with my password for a moment, but I figured it out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does get out of hand. You have some mods, just having power trips and getting all butthurt over each other. And it's like, no, the sole purpose of my choosing you as a mod or anyone for as a mod is to try to help my channel grow, try to promote my channel. It shouldn't, it's not a competition, it's not a war. I'm not saying you'd do that, but like, yeah, if I have too many mods, it does tend to get out of hand. I lose track and all that. And then I feel bad when I have to delete you as a mod. And I understand, like, I've had to do that to people, and every single one of them has just completely unsubscribed and left my channel because they were butthurt. Even though they told me it was like some of them said it was okay if you delete me as a mod, I did, and then it was like, okay, bye bye. You know, there are ways I could have handled certain things better, but yeah, I try to make it so that I'm not overwhelmed and I can't, yeah, you get it. Am I a recovering addict? Yes, I am. Beeswax. I was addicted to heroin for 6 years, and I've been clean. Let's see. Let's see how long I've been clean. Um, I'm talking like Popeye. Let's see. Yeah, 3 years and 3 months. 3 years and 3 months. A little tiny bit over 3 months, right? Because it's June. So yeah, it's almost 4 months. 2 years. Sorry, 3 years and 4 months almost. No, we're telling you to have more common sense, my man. No, I spoke with 100% common sense right there. What common sense would I ever be lacking by anything that I've said? I do this channel for myself and others. I gain and other people come and tell me they come to my DMs, they come to my video comments and they tell me that my content's actually helping them. A lot of people, a lot more than I would expect actually, come and thank me for my content cuz it inspires a lot of people to want to get clean, want to get better, want to better their lives, and I'm proud of that. Not only that, but I do my art, I do cooking. I love cooking on my channel, by the way. I do, adventures with my dog, even hiking from time to time, because we're more than our addictions. My past addiction is not it's something I can learn from. It's something where it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. Now that I'm alive and I am striving, I don't have to live in shame and resentment and fear for the rest of my life. I can discard the bad, learn from the bad. I can learn from the bad and cultivate wisdom from it and use that as like a way to help other people and a way to inspire other people while I'm living, because we need more people we need more recovery content. We need more people talking about recovery and addiction. And since I'm here and I'm alive and I almost died many times, I'm really glad, I'm grateful that I'm here and I'm able to share my story with others and make it so that hopefully they don't feel like they have to hide themselves. It's that lack of connection, like I said, it's that isolation which can make an addiction, or initiate an addiction. So being connected with people, letting them share their stories, answering their questions, engaging with people, whatever, who are going through the same struggle or trying to better themselves in that sense. I find that so gratifying if I'm able to help even one person here with addiction, with something like heroin or meth or whatever. I never did meth, but I was a heroin addict for a long time, and you can be addicted to anything and discuss it here. So long as we're not being disrespectful and we're not, just being complete assholes to each other, then it's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. But we also talk about, like I said, we talk about things like books and art and hiking and dogs and what have you, cooking, because we're more than our addictions. I'm not defined solely by my addiction. That's just a part of my life. That's a chapter of the past that I can take. I can I can take what is good learning from that and discard what is just useless self pity and resentment. You know, no pointing fingers, no self pity. I take full accountability, all that. I know there are, shitty things in my life which probably led up or contributed to that. But all in all, it was curiosity that killed the cat almost. Not quite. So I'm glad I can be here and help other people. And it helps me too. It helps I feel like it helps for me to do this because I hold myself accountable in a way um a lot of people here have a lot of faith in me to to stay clean and to kind of be I got to be strong, not just for myself but to try to inspire encourage other people to be strong. Otherwise, like, dude, I if I were to relapse, I can only imagine, like, if someone happens to have so much faith in me and that they happen to be very inspired by me, imagine how they're gonna feel if I do relapse. How disappointed they're gonna be. So I'll do everything in my power to not let that happen. Relapse is so sad to see. And everyone who does that drug specifically, especially the heroin, they will relapse at least once. I relapsed like 3 times, 2 or 3 times, no, twice when I attempted, no, once when I attempted professional treatment did I relapse, and then I tried again and I succeeded. But a couple other times I tried to get clean, and yeah, that's all very vague to me because it certainly didn't last long. No, long live Mexico, you bastards! Oh man, I I love Mexico. I love Mexican people. They're some of the sweetest, kindest, most warm people I've ever met in my life. I used to go to this Hispanic mass, and even though I didn't really, I mean, it is because it was later in the day and all that, I could always make it. But and I could read the missal or the translation and all that. Um, it was just such a warm, pleasant atmosphere, man. What sarcasm, man? This is an addict recovery channel. You are here for a reason. I'm sorry. You are China addicted. Sorry, I must have missed something there. Yeah, that's how most heroin addicts die because they do the same amount of heroin they did when they were on drugs, and you lose your tolerance. And yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, okay, so when I had been clean for a month, just 1 month, okay, when my best friend passed away in 2021, I relapsed. And I was drinking so much freaking alcohol on top of it. I think that the only times I ever OD'd was when I did alcohol on top of it. And so I was being very careful. I did it in a very small, I did only a very small portion of it, and it still made me OD. Just a small, like not even a quarter of that syringe. And I still OD'd from that and nearly died because I was locked in a restroom in a one person bar restroom. And the only reason why anyone found me there early enough was because my friend happened to be bartending and it was one of his first shifts. Thank you very much, Jose. Past events don't change anything. We build the future in the present. Exactly. Thank you very much, man. What got me into drugs? Just a series of unfortunate events and my curiosity and anxiety, social anxiety. I was complaining about social anxiety, and someone that I had invited into my student housing unit, they were sitting on my toilet doing the foil, chasing the dragon. I didn't know what the different modes of administration were anyway, either. I didn't know that heroin was associated with chasing the dragon. But he's like, "Hey, would you like some? This will help with social anxiety or with your anxiety." And I said, "Yeah." Like, fuck, man. I was very, yeah, I was dealing with depression then because my grandma just died. Whole thing with my sister's roommates, and then everything before that sucked so bad. Like I did, I had an eating disorder, man. I wanted to forget about everything. And I'm not like trying to make excuses for myself or anything. I'm just saying that's what it is, you know. Oftentimes it's something you feel disconnected, or your life sucks before you resort to doing something like that. Otherwise, I probably would have, in my right mind, I probably would have looked it up at least, or if I didn't know what it was, and otherwise, yeah, I would have probably asked more questions. Would have probably asked more questions about it because I am curious person. But yeah, much to my detriment. Hi, Vanessa. How are you doing? How hope you stay clean, girl. God bless you. Well, thank you, Luke. I do my best, one day at a time. A lady that used to ride the bus with me, and she's a lady that used to ride the bus with me, and she seemed addicted to meth. She used to talk to people that were not there and fight with them. She threw rocks at the bus when they wouldn't let her ride. Yeah, or it could be schizophrenia, my man. I mean, it's hard to say what that is. I mean, unless I'm there to witness it, maybe I'd be able to discern what she's on or what's wrong with her. But yeah, am I seeing anybody romantically? No, not right now. Life is a little chaotic. But I mean, I live in with my parents right now. I'm trying to find a job and a, sustainable source of income so that I can move out, so that I can have a studio where I can paint better, do like I had to start over on that thing because I tried to find a place where I could let that gesso dry, where none of the sides and everything is not going to be touched. No hairs flying onto it, nothing. I couldn't find a single place to put it. I put it right up there. I had to move a bunch of stuff, but right up there on my bed frame, it got smudged by something that I didn't see coming, and it just like fell on it. I'm like, oh fuck, man. But it's fine. I fixed it. Thank God. Where am I from? I'm from the USA. What was my DOC date of conception? I, I don't even know what the C stands for. I'm sorry. Drug of choice. Okay, duh. Thank you. It was heroin. I was a heroin addict. Been clean for 3 years and 3 months. And I know, you know what? So many people ask me this. Usually I only say it once or twice on my stream, depending on how long it is. But YouTube always curates or takes this part of my live stream and turns it into a live highlight. It's always almost always, not always, but like I would say 80% of the time, 75, 80% of the time, they take out the part where I'm like, yeah, I was an H addict and I've been clean for this long. And, I was using for this long and I've been clean for this long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they do. It's like, that's kind of weird. Just I guess they're trying to keep a record or on like, how consistent I am or whatever. What's my job preference? Ooh, snap. I would love to, get. Oh, when I have my own place, I'll definitely be able to work on larger substrates and stuff, and I would like to do more with my art. I'd like to have more freedom around here to work on my art with reckless abandon without the cats without someone watching TV all day in that room, or it's like on, I mean, all day, all day long, all day long. And that's a sudden thing, man. We have a TV out there, we have a TV downstairs. Suddenly they want to be in there. I have a feeling it's because they're trying to make send a message. But anyway, that's just the sense that I get now. That it's the timing is very interesting. As soon as I start like painting over there, as soon as I start live streaming in there, no, oh no, now they're gonna turn on the TV all the time. It's just if it was like couple like even if it was like 4 or 5 hours in the day, it wouldn't bother me or annoy me as much. But it's all day long. It's like it's kind of reminds me of how sometimes I'll be like, I'm gonna take a shower and someone just rushes in there, or I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. So he goes over to the stove and uses it like right there when I said that. I don't know, man, what people's fucking issues are, but it's kind of weird. So yeah. What do I want to do with my as a job? Um, shit, man. I don't know. I would love to work with animals. I would love to work like in doggy daycare, anywhere where I can take my Shando. Um, I would love to work with like animal rescue, maybe just animal conservation. I would love to work around animals. I love animals. Have I watched The Boys? No, but I'll write that down. I haven't. Just shut the F up, Art. That's a movie, yeah? Yeah, I'll check that out. I've never worked in animal rescue, but that sounds like a job that I would really love. I love holding animals. I love taking care of animals. I would love that. I thought about writing a book about addiction and recovery from heroin because there's a lot I can tell there. It might it might help some people. Um I'm mostly working on my painting, maybe even being a cartoonist. Dude, I know it's so, probably it's so competitive, and I, I don't want to say never, but I would love to be like a voice actor or something. I would love to do voices for like cartoon characters and stuff like that. That'd be so much fun for me. I'd enjoy that so much, and I know I'd be good at it. Hmm. I'll look that character up because it's been a long time since I've seen Stranger Things, and I've only seen the first season. Okay, yeah, I can see that. No, she's pretty. Thank you. I wonder why people think I look like a Stranger Things character. Did I watch Obsession movie? No, I have not. I'll write that down too. It'll be part of my movie list. Obsession. Eddie. Do I remember? Do I remember? Yes, I do, Vanessa. Your name does ring a bell. I don't think I've seen you here in a long time though. I haven't been live streaming in a little while, but yeah, I do recognize your name. Your name does ring a bell. It is hard for me to remember sometimes when if someone hasn't been here for that long and I can't like connect. the name to the face, but Vanessa does ring a bell. Take care, Umberto. Thank you. And thank you, Kyle. Flow state. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. I'm gonna go use the restrooms and I'll be right back, okay? Alright. Alright. Oh no. Oh no, buddy. Boss. Boss. The bear's back. I'm back. Look at this cute little box I got, guys. Cute. Yay. Oh shit, gotta go. Thanks, guys. Well, thank you, Max. You have a good day. People being mean in the chat. Usually, when I laugh too hard, I make guinea pig noises unintentionally. Hey, Squishy Mew Mews, how's it going, man? Where'd he go? You know what? I'm gonna go make some dinner. Having a really dinner. And you can come with. Motherfucker. Okay, I hope I have some rice. Enough rice. Okay. Ooh, got some cheese on it. Cheese. Cheese Louise. All right. What else? Oh, I got sour cream. Oh yeah. I'll need this. Some beans and rice, sour cream. Shadow. Oh, damn it. Literally. hair. I haven't gone anywhere. Oh, I think that might be Shando stuff. You got it. Oh, good job. See what we got. What we get, baby. I don't know. That's nice. Let's see. Oh, oh my god! I got a really pretty nail polish. That's what I got. Okay. Well, I got you something too. Not that came today. Let's see here. Okay. Yes. My nails are just completely eroded, so I got some nail care for my nails. Just look how bad my nails look, guys. Look how sad my nails look. They're just completely damaged. So yeah, I'll apply some of this. This is, wait a minute, no, I think this actually might be my nail polish remover. And I tried to find some nail polish remover that's actually, oh no, actually it's not the nail polish remover. But yeah, I tried to find some that's a little bit less abrasive. This is nail strengthener. Cool. I'll apply some of that. Ooh, the rice smells good. I guess I'll just take all of it. Some rice. Heat that up with my beans. This is going to be delicious. I love beans. Okay, baby. Some peppers. Little more ham. Okay. Ooh, there's a little bacon on it too. Guess he added more bacon to that. Nice. Okay. Okay, pick that up. Put some sour cream on that. Creme de la creme de la creme. That'll be comfort food. I'm gonna make it spicy. And where to put things. Oh my. 2 minutes. Hey, baby. And is it brush? Okay. Save this for tomorrow. What's that, baby? I love you. Oh my. You know what? Okay. Oh, what's tomatoes? Little sample tomatoes. Ha 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 ha. Cool. using every dish within 3 hours. Speaking of addiction, I think someone's addicted to using every freaking dish within 3 or 4 hours. And I mean every single bowl in the house when there's only 3 people living. About 10 bowls. I do. Rinse it out and then do it. Yeah. For doing all the stuff you probably wouldn't make it that way. All right. All right. All right. Tenure. Good boy. Chop up a few cherry tomatoes into that. Chop, chop, chop. Little cherry tomato in there. Chop, chop. Isn't it funny? Like, I was watching Jimmy Carr, and I'm sure this happens at a lot of stand up with a lot of stand up comedians at a lot of stand comedy venues. Art, be quiet. But you always have that one Karen in the audience or Darren who gets offended and leaves. And I'm just thinking, why would you spend all that money to this show to go to this comedy venue and then just to get butthurt and offended? Like, dude, shit, dude. Like, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They want to ruin the vibe. They're coming there. They're thinking that they're gonna get to ruin the vibe, and it'll all be worth it as long as they ruin the vibe. Like, no, dude, we're all laughing at you. Everyone's laughing at you, man. Your comedic supply. See, all you gotta do is rinse it off and put it away, dude. Okay. See a little cheese in there. Make sure that's not. Make sure that's the right temperature there. Let's see. Hmm. Let me try that out. Oh, hot, hot, hot. Yeah, that needs more salt, man. Ooh, look at that. I got some Old Bay seasoning because I think Fixa recommended that one. Now, where on earth did I put it? Oh, I got that. And I also have this onion dip mix. I'm going to mix some with my sour cream. And I'm going to use the beefy onion, of course. And some Old Bay seasonings. Let's see here. What is this made in? With celery, salt. Okay, so it's salty. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. The Old Bay seasoning on top. Let me try that little bit, see what that's like. Oh fuck yeah. Little seasoning. Try that. What is it, boy? Oh fuck yeah. Oh yeah, I can so see this being so good on seafood, man. Can never have too much, I guess. Okay. I got the Mexican style sour cream. I wonder what the difference there is really. Is it? It's very thick. You guys can't have sour cream. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Don't like wasting the stuff on the guys can't have it. I'm sorry. Not good for you. Not healthy for puppy. No, I'll get into that. I swear. Okay. A little bit of that sour the clems. Oh, just all of it in one go. I didn't get much. Wait, I was gonna mix that with some of this goofy onion stuff. Probably really don't need that. Nah. Mm, I do kind of want to try this. Yeah, skip. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Hey, messy, messy. That's good stuff. I don't know why I like the Mexican style sour cream. Seems to have a little more flavor. I don't know. Maybe that's all in my head. Little shiny bit of that beef stuff. Yeah. I love this stuff here. French onion. I'm gonna mix it in there like so. Beef and onion. Shando, this all has onions and garlic in it, baby. You can't have it. I'm sorry. Nice. I'm sorry, honey. They're gonna get you a can. You know what I have for you? I got a can of sardines for you. Packed in water, if I gotta emphasize. You know why I have to emphasize that? Because people love to nitpick everything. Be like, oh, you should be treating your dog like this. You can give me sardines. Make sure you give him the sardines. Dude, I know what I'm doing. I do research, but before I give my dog anything. And sardines packed in water is very good for him. Here you go, baby. Yeah, very good for a little baby. Here, Artie, would you like a little sardine, kiddo? Here you go. Here, here's a few sardines for you too. Wow, Art, getting old, but I'm trying to be an old battle. Seems like her has a harder time catching things these days. Pretty good though, huh? Good. So what? Ooh, and sriracha. The little favorites, man. More cheese. Want the protein in that? Ooh, and fun. Good amount of protein. I'll add more cheese than that. Here, have a piece of cheese, Art. Like some cheese tacks, kiddo? Here, just a little bit. Tiny bit for you, a tiny bit for my boy. Awesome. Ooh, yeah. Oh, fire roasted garlic habanero. Hell yeah, buddy. It's a little base seasoning. Yes. Oh yeah, buddy. It's gonna be so fucking good. Quite flavorful. Flavor town. Boys. All right. Moment of truth. Okay, wait. Let's go to my room. Let's go to my room. It should be a good temperature now. It's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be spicy. Flavor town. Spicy flavor. That look good. I like beans and rice. I can't wink like Anne without closing both eyes, so I cannot wink. I can just blink slowly and fast. Pretty cool. That is kind of cool. Mm. Mm. Oh, hell yeah. Don't know about you, but I love spicy food. It's been a long time since I've had something this spicy. Beans and rice. That's what I'm talking about. With some tomatoes to cleanse the palate. Some chopped cherry tomatoes, and it's got the rice and the beans with ham. See, look at that delicious piece of ham right there. So good. Pretty good. I love beans and rice, dude. It is good. Oh, it's good. All right. World Industry Skateboarding World. Oh, I love the Old Bays. It's good. Thanks for the recommendation, Fix. That's it. I love it. I'm gonna put it in my seafood from now on. That's for sure. It's delicious. Hmm. Fucking A. I might even put a few more beans on top because I'm gonna run out of beans. Hmm. Let's put some more beans on that beach. So, bro, oh, I'm gonna have to heat it up too. La 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 la. Heat that up with my punch. Please like and subscribe. Much appreciated, guys. That's for dinner. I'm having beans and rice with some sour cream and some Old Bay seasoning. And the beans are made, it's made with ham and poblano peppers and all sorts of good stuff. Cheese and cherry tomatoes. Oh, okay. I made that really hot. Yeah, add a few more beans for that just to cool it up a bit. Mm, enough more in there. There we go. Buddy. Gosh, I'm glad I got to have some. Mm. Gotta kind of stir it up. It's a little too hot. Mm-hmm. Some more bay seasoning. Yeah, buddy. I think that's good enough. Baby, hi. Boy, not much. Oh, wait a minute. Ugh. Okay. So good. That would be good on popcorn. I've been putting nutritional yeast on my popcorn. It's pretty good. Yeah, it sounds really good. I'm loving it. Yo, that's funny. Uh, there's this YouTube channel. It's like a horror channel, but they take true events or urban legends, what have you. A lot of them are true stories, which they turn into cartoons. And one of my favorite channels is Horror Shorts Party. And there's this one about the McDonald's clown where he's just like he's a murderer and he repetitive he's just like saying he's constantly saying, I'm loving it. like just like that. It's it's pretty fun. Yeah, dude. Like I used to watch that channel a lot. I should get back into watching it because I'm sure they've come out with more videos. It's been a while. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, I have been gone for a little while. Like early on in this live stream, I did elaborate on a lot of that, and I have been really quite depressed. I'm gonna try to not let myself sink that low. At least I didn't relapse, but which is a victory because it was the first time in 3 years that I ever even thought about it in like terms of craving it. But I got over it. You know, it'll pass. Just know it'll pass. And that was probably a good thing for me to smoke weed at that time. But all in all, I was smoking weed every day like I used to, and it just makes me not motivated to do anything else really, except the bare minimum. And even then, I'm like going through the motions. I don't feel like it. No, today I felt very much up to live streaming, and doing things that are getting productive things done, and so that's makes me feel better. This is absolutely fine. I love beans and rice, man. So nutritious and so substantial, so versatile. I love the poblano peppers in there too. Gosh, man. Good thing every time I've looked at the chat, it's been pretty decent. But every once in a while, I'll come across like the weirdest comment. My vocals sound real. Thank you. I mean, I don't think I could sing to save my life, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Am I vegan? No. No, there was ham in that. No, no, by all means, I am not a vegan. I love beef. I love bison. I love buffalo. I love duck. I love lamb. I love chicken. And I love fish a lot. And yeah, beef's one of the best of all time, man. One of the best things you can consume. It's really good. It's the reason why our brains were able to, grow. You know, back when we were cavemen, our brains got larger, and I owe it, at least in part, to well, the way we've had to adapt, and also our diets. I think meat is very important. There's a lot of vegans, man. Like if you're gonna be a vegan and get all your necessary nutrients and calories, it's probably gonna be way more expensive. And if it's not that, then you're not getting enough, like iron and B12 and all that. A lot of people go into that sort of thing thinking they know it all when they don't. And so they end up becoming malnourished and deciding, oh, it's not for me, or I'll become vegetarian instead. I'll never give up meat, man. I love meat, and I think meat is good for us. As long as it's grass fed, free range, and it's not like I totally disapprove of those factories where they put those chickens in those pins that were like those cages where their feet get all cut up, and no, where they put those pigs and cows where they can't even move, and it's just like that's horror, that's evil, in my opinion. But free range, having eating meat that's free range, where the animal is allowed to live a longer life than it would otherwise out in the wild. It's free range, and it gets to live a nice long life, and then you get to slay it in the most humane way, and enjoy the meat, take the sustenance and respect it. There's a lot of respect that goes into that, and I think that some people, for whatever reason, and here's the thing also with vegans. Their diet also wreaks havoc to the ecosystem. Like all those almonds they need for the almond milk, it um extracts so much water and kills off so many little critters. And if you were to bring that topic up to them, it's like, oh no, but my precious almond milk. Who cares about rabbits? I do. What if I care about rabbits? Hmm? Oh, you know what one of the dumbest argument is? Like if some of these people literally, if they see you eating meat, they'll say you shouldn't have a dog and that you're a bad dog owner. Or whatever because you eat meat. Like you couldn't possibly love your dog if you eat meat. Isn't that stupid? That's one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking heard. Oh, thank you, Sebastian. Have you heard Boris Johnson's saying the word vegan? I love the way he says it. There's a famous clip of him saying it. Really? Boris Johnson, I've heard of him. I'll look him up again. See if I can find that. Again, I don't think I mixed the. I have this what's it called again? It's this Japanese flour, and then there's the other type of oil. It's really nice, but it's supposed to be good for my hair. Ah, Boris Johnson. Oh, I'm thinking like Benny Johnson when you say that. Okay. I've heard of Boris Johnson, though. I find a lot of Benny Johnson's shit clickbait, though. Never really gone much into him. Boris Johnson, funny mo. Okay, duh. Yeah, he's the prime minister. He's the prime minister. Okay, I almost forgot about him, dude. I almost forgot about that guy. I got it mixed up with someone else there for a minute. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, I don't know much about him, but yeah, a lot of people are kind of divided on that too. I should look more into it. He's not like the prime minister anymore, though. I thought he left. Yeah, he probably sucks. Well, I'm not sure. Like for considering the state that England's in right now, yeah, yeah. It's Keir Starmer right now. Okay. Awful. Thank you guys. If vegans are all on their high horse, commercial vegetable farming kills and displaces plenty of animals. Exactly, exactly, exactly. In one of my live streams a while back, I tried, explaining all that, and man, did a few people got pretty angry. But yeah, it does. It displaces a lot of animals. They don't care. Man, all they really care about is being social justice warriors, self-righteous on their high horse. Same with the far left. They don't care about what's actually right, what's rational. They don't care. All they care about is how they look, like looking like they're self-righteous. It's like Billie Eilish being on stage like, "Oh, no, no, what she say is like, no land is stolen land," something like that. And did you see how sheepish she looked and just like taking in all the clapping and all the accolades? So she's like, oh my gosh, like tickled pink by it. But then she got all the backlash when actual like Native Americans started going after her and saying, hey, you're living on stolen land, give it back, bitch. And yeah, she got what she deserved, in my opinion. Freaking elite, thinks she knows like how the rest of us live. No, she didn't. None of them do. They're all out of touch. They're all doing it because it's lucrative or because it's gets them brownie points in Hollywood. Otherwise, they're gonna be, they're gonna be ostracized, not invited to events, all this other stuff. Like, just look at how Nicki Minaj is being treated now. I love Nicki Minaj. And I liked her before. I like her even more now. Hey, vegans by choice are mostly hypocrites. Yeah, I mean, some of people do, change their diet solely because of their health, because they just can't process meat very well. And that's totally respectable and that's fine. But yeah, then you have a lot of most vegans choose it and they're on their high horse and they treat us like we're actual murderers when they're probably just fine with abortion. Because it's mostly people on the far left who think this way. And Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's insane. It's super hypocritical. Yeah, all I'm gonna say about vegans is that they can be a little over the top a lot of times. Some can be very smug and bitter. I understand their reasons, but their attitude can be annoying. Yeah, yeah. Well, they're wrong about a lot of things too, but yeah, I mean, I'm when I see what goes on in those factories where they actually torture the animals, that makes me angry too. But then they like to throw like ethical farming under the same, like under the bus with it. Like they like to like lump it all into that same category and make it seem like that's evil too when it's not. That's what it's definitely helped us to thrive as a human species, as a species, that's for sure. Like, how would people in Mongolia survive? That's all they eat. All they eat is meat in Mongolia, in the Mongolian plateaus, like the steppe. You should see how they eat. They eat like they'll take the whole entire freaking lamb and eat it in one sitting. That's fuel for them. They eat milk, cheese, and meat. That's basically it. Maybe some spices here and there, but this people gotta live, man. You know, lions eat zebras. I mean, there are some insane vegans I mean, I know this is really rare, but I've seen it where people actually try to make their dogs or their cats vegan. Now, man, you might be able to try that with a dog to its detriment, to their, their noses will become dry and everything. They won't be happy. But if you try to do that to the cat, you're going to actually kill it because cats are first and foremost carnivores. Hi, thank you, Saxon. Yeah, Juliette Lewis is really pretty. Anyway, guys, I did say I was going to end my live stream at 4:30, so I appreciate you being here. And if you could please like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Something I learned in life is to address exactly what bothers me about someone. I'm not bothered by vegans' point of view. I'm bothered by their petty and smug attitude. Perfect. Exactly. Precisely, man. Like, if you're an adult, I don't give a shit what you do with your life. You do you. But if you're gonna sit on your high horse and call people names and treat people like 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 the way people on the far left call us Nazis and racists and bigots and all that, and then vegans calling people who eat meat, it's the same thing. It's like self-righteousness, and it's annoying. It's obnoxious. It's stupid. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, okay? You have a good night, you have a good day, whatever it happens to be where you live, and, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I appreciate very much. Okay? Bye-bye now.